So it looks like Xbox Activision deal is going through, guys. CMA in UK just accepted the new deal that Microsoft proposed to them. Now this is still a preliminary decision, so they still need to work out some small details here and there, but this is still a huge step towards the finalizing the deal. So let's look into this. But before we look into it, let's check iniba.com. They offer games for Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo and PC, and they've got a ton of different games on sale, like this FIFA. I mean, it's not FIFA anymore, I know, FC24 deals, or you can save up to 80% on some other deals. So let's check some of these FC deals. So how about this one? So let's actually check this one out. Let's pre-order, but this one is actually cheaper, so let's pre-order this one. And let's switch to the cheap deals. There's some other games here too. Oh, this one is actually pretty cool. Ghostwire Tokyo. This is a very good game. It's in Game Pass too, by the way, if you want. Let's click buy now. $6 is really not a lot, and all you have to do now is just proceed to checkout, and that's it. Select a payment of your choice, and that's pretty much it, guys. Guys, iniba.com, you will find the link in the description of this video below. Okay, let's talk about that Xbox Activision deal again. Now, Microsoft and CMA were quiet for a little bit. I mean, we knew what was going on there. I mean, Microsoft proposed them a new deal. I think they have to license, or actually they even have to sell the Activision cloud rights. So this is not even that they license it, they have to sell it. So what's going to happen next is that Microsoft will buy Activision Blizzard, but without the rights to use these games in their own service, if you know what I mean, right? Now, I don't have all details on that just yet, but still, CMA did announce, they did post that, their preliminary decision is that they accepted the new deal. They said that this deal is really addressing pretty much all of their concerns. They did also say that there's still some issues, not either issues, small details they have to work out, and it has to do with the fact that they want to make sure that Microsoft won't change that deal. So it's more about how they're going to control that this deal is going to stay in place, right? I mean, they don't. Oh, by the way, this new deal, the deal that they proposed to CMA is for 15 years. So for 15 years, Microsoft won't own the rights to Activision games in cloud. But we're talking about only in cloud. We're talking about game streaming. So I'm not sure how that's really going to work out. I mean, will Activision, so I guess Activision will get the money still. I mean, that's still their IPs, but they won't be able to license or like use that at their own leisure, if you know what I mean, right? They have to, I don't know. We'll figure it out, right? I mean, they still have to iron out a couple of things, but this is still a great decision, by the way. And we've got some comments from Microsoft, of course, like Brad Smith over here. He posted this tweet: "We are encouraged by this positive development in the CMA's review process. We presented solutions that we believe fully address the CMA's remaining concerns related to cloud game streaming, and we will continue to work towards earning approval to close prior to the October 18th deadline." So this is actually quite interesting too, because obviously he's talking about that another deadline they've got. But I think with that preliminary decision by CMA, I think it's just a matter of time. And I mean, it's pretty much almost end of September, so I wouldn't expect that final decision anytime soon, but early October, why not? And it's actually good, because that means that once that's done, once CMA publishes the final decision, Microsoft will be able to actually finalize the deal Activision Blizzard acquisition, right? Like officially that they are finally there. And, going from there, well, we will have to wait for, some fruits of that when it comes to like Game Pass and games on Xbox, right? Obviously the first thing we will see from that deal are going to be games in Game Pass. Now, don't expect any games like day one. Even Phil Spencer said that once the deal is done, physical work will have to be done in order to, transplant these games to Game Pass, right? To put these games in Game Pass, because they can't really do anything right now because the deal is not done, right? They can't officially work on that just yet. So once the deal is done, that's going to happen. And just like with Bethesda games, some games were actually added quite quickly. Maybe they were, better suited for Game Pass. I don't know. While with other games, we had to wait a little bit longer. So I would expect it's probably going to take a couple of weeks to get all of these games on Game Pass. It will be probably done in batches. And also remember that PlayStation still owns marketing rights for some Call of Duty games. So the last couple of them, really. So I don't think that you will see all Call of Duty games in Game Pass anytime soon anyway. I think the marketing deal finishes, I think, with the next Call of Duty. Not this year, but like next year Call of Duty. So, or maybe even this year. Actually, I've heard conflicting stories. Going by the latest documents, I think the wording was that they've got rights. PlayStation has marketing rights up to next year, but it was put in a way that PlayStation has got rights for this year's Call of Duty and everything that comes for this game till the end of this year. But next Call of Duty would be next year's Call of Duty is probably going to be Xbox, right? So, they talk about 2024 only because Call of Duty drops now, next couple of weeks, right? November, really. So 2 months time. So once the Call of Duty drops, PlayStation will have marketing rights for this particular game throughout this year, but also most of the next year, right? Because so even next year when DLC will drop or any marketing campaign will drop, PlayStation will be all over it, really, because they still got the rights for that particular game, not only for this year, but next year too. But next year's game is probably going to be like full Xbox game. Not exclusive, but like marketing rights, probably going to stay with Xbox this time around. So you will see Xbox written all over Call of Duty next year. So yeah, guys, very good news. We still have to wait for the games in Game Pass, but looks like by October 18th, the deal is going to be done. They will announce the acquisition officially and done, and that's when the actual fun starts, because really the last almost 2 years, can you believe that? Last almost 2 years were kind of really this kind of a drama all over the place, like Sony crying about Call of Duty, Jim Ryan crying about it, Phil Spencer being Mr. Nice Guy for everyone because he didn't really want to he didn't want to upset anyone. It was like, clown's show at some point, to be honest with you. But hey, it's all about corporate work and that kind of stuff. And it looks like Microsoft did deliver that in the end. Yeah, they had to agree for actually quite substantial concessions, especially when it comes to UK. The only thing I'm still not sure about is whether these concessions are global or not, because in the document that CMA posted, they did say that some of the concessions will apply to UK except EU, for example. No, so it's I don't think it's going to be for whole of the the whole of world, if you know what I mean. So I don't know, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, it's a good news anyway. I don't really care much about the cloud and stuff. So as long as Activision Blizzard games going to go into Game Pass, that's all what I care about really. And that's why I've been such a big proponent of that deal going through. Not because Xbox is going to get bigger. I don't care. I don't get any money from them. But the fact that Activision Blizzard games going to get in Game Pass, and I will get benefits of it, right? I won't have to pay for. I mean, I did bought some of their games already, but rest of them and future games, I won't have to spend like 300 zlotys for new games. Hey, some later, deluxe editions and that kind of stuff, I may buy later, sure, why not? Like special editions, that kind of stuff, but I won't have to fork out all that money at day one, especially that these days games come out broken a lot of times, so, it's better to wait and buy game when it's fully patched up and stuff, and you know what I mean. So that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.